Welcome to Making It Easier. I'm Kendrick Heinlein.
And I'm Regina Salmi.
And today we're going to talk about how to navigate your iPad to make it more organized and help just answer a few questions you might have had while using it.
A question we often receive is about can a mobile device remind you to do things, particularly something like medication. I need a medication reminder. I forget about these things all the time. And in fact, there is already on your device an app called Reminders. So I'm just going to go really quickly through to show how you can use reminders and how beneficial they can be. So if you don't see the Reminders app directly on your iPad, you can swipe down to search for it. And then you can open Reminders. And again, it's the same whether you have an iPhone or an iPad, and other devices have similar features. So using the example that we already talked about, let's say that I have to take a medication every single day at 4 o'clock. So there you can see on the reminders list that there is a plus sign. So I'm going to tap that plus sign and I'm going to type in take ibuprofen. I need to do that every single day at 4 o'clock. So at the end of that line, you can see there's a circle with an I in it for information. If you tap on that, it gives you a bunch of options. So I'm going to say that yes, I want to be reminded on a particular day. And I'm going to say every day at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'm going to take my medication. Then you can see below that it says repeat. And so if I have to do it every day, I'm going to set it for every day. So every day at 4 o'clock, I'm going to get that reminder that's going to say take ibuprofen. And I'm going to hit done. And so every day a message will pop up on my device, whether I'm using my phone or my iPad, that tells me to take my ibuprofen. Taking some time to explore reminders, seeing how it can work for you. And particularly with an Apple device, if you're using reminders that way, you can also set it up in your calendar exactly the same way. And it can make a sound or it can stay silent. So if you ever were taken off that medication, so if your doctor decides you don't have to take ibuprofen anymore, one way to just get rid of the reminder is to tap edit and then tap the red dot next to it and hit delete. And then you'll stop receiving that reminder.
So now we're going to cover just a few basic things with the iPad, like how to delete and clean up your apps, or also how to group similar apps into a folder so they are all in one spot and not all of them are taking up all the room on your face of your iPad or your iPhone. So to delete an app, you're going to simply choose the app that you want to delete. So we're going to delete Apple TV on this app. So what you want to do is hold down on it and wait until you see all the apps start to shake. Now you might notice that some of the apps on your device don't have an X in the left-hand corner. That's because you're unable to delete those apps. Those apps are uploaded onto your device by Apple. They're things that you're always going to need, like your settings or your photos or camera, and they can't be deleted off of the system. But the apps that you are able to delete are going to have a little gray X in the top left-hand corner. To delete the app, you just touch on the X. It's going to ask if you'd want to delete it. I'm actually going to keep it on this iPad just in case in the future we ever do need to stream something to Apple TV. But if I didn't want to, I would just click on delete and it would get rid of the app, and then it would remove it from your home screen, and it would automatically arrange your apps in order for them to make sure they're in order. So to get rid of them from shaking, so you don't just start deleting all the apps that you have, you just push once on your home button and it'll stop your apps from shaking. I also want to show you how to put similar apps together in a folder. For instance, let's say you wanted to combine Lyft and Lots of Helping Hands because you seem to use those apps together a lot. What you want to do is hold on it, just like you did if you were going to delete it, and drag it over to that app. hold it over the app, and you're going to see that it's automatically going to let you create a folder. Now I can leave it there. If you want to change the app at the top right now, currently it has lifestyle. Let's say I want to put care services. So I know that when I'm looking to use this one for the person I'm caring for or myself, that's where they're going to be. If you hit done and you just hit your home screen again, it's going to save your folder for you. If you touch your home screen again, you can see that it's created a folder on our app or on our home screen. So anytime you have other apps that you download that you want to add, say you want to add Shipped, if you just hold on Shipped and drag it over and put it above that folder, you can see that you can just leave it right in there. That way, when you want care services, you can see all the apps that are stored in there for your care services, and you don't have to search your iPad or device for them. It's just a really nice way to clean up and keep everything together. So if you had, let's say you had money management services, you could keep all those together. All your transportation, food, caregiving services, all grouped that way. It's a cleaner home screen, and it's easier to find the services that you're looking for.
So to close this episode, we just wanted to briefly go over accessibility features. We could literally spend hours and hours going through all of the features that are embedded in your iPad to help make it more user-friendly for you, no matter what you might be experiencing. So to begin, you want to go to Settings, and I'm going to show you how to get into accessibility features, and you can take the time to explore them yourself. So you want to tap on Settings, and then you want to go to General. And once you have General highlighted, you can look over to the right and see Accessibility. It has its own thing. So you can see there are several different options that you have available to you. For example, turning on larger text. If you tap on that, you'll see a slider where you can slide and make the text bigger. So if you have any visual issues, you can make the text larger, and it shows you exactly how large it'll get as you move the slider. So I'm going to put it back to where it was. Another one that is extremely helpful for people, and maybe you've experienced where you're trying to type in a password and you make a mistake and hit other letters, and they get in there, and then all of a sudden it's telling you your password doesn't work, stuff like that. And then you end up resetting your password. It can just be a very frustrating experience. But for people who have, maybe they have shaky hands or maybe arthritic hands, and it's difficult to get them exactly where they need to be, the option that you can use, you tap on Touch Accommodations, and then at the top, turn on that button again. And then it gives you several different options that you can turn on. One of the most helpful is hold duration. One of the reasons that we mistype letters is because we make a mistake and hit something, and if it's very responsive, it's going to record immediately. But with hold duration, you click that on, and then it gives you a message saying that it changes your gestures. We haven't gotten to that point yet, so you don't have to worry about that. We're just going to hit OK. But what you can do is increase the amount of time a button has to be held in order to record. So I'm going to increase it and it's literally increasing as I put it up. I'm going to do it to 0.40 seconds, and that's actually a long time. So now anything I touch, I have to hold on to it for about a half a second for it to respond. So if I kept it that way and I wanted to go back to General to look at more accessibility features or look at some other features, I'd have to put my hand on General and just wait, and then it will go. So when it comes to typing in passwords or typing in our email addresses and stuff like that, it can be very, very helpful to just have that extra time that you're holding on it, and then you know that you've got the right letters. And one of the last things I just want to point out is if you're a person who wears hearing aids, there are several different brands of hearing aid that can be connected to your device. so that you can control the volume from your iPad or even from an iPhone. So when you're in a noisy environment, you can turn it up, or you can put on noise canceling features that are already part of your hearing device. And that's it for accessibility features.
So we hope this lesson has been very helpful for you. Thank you for joining us today.
And if you have any questions or you would like to give a suggestion on a future lesson, feel free to email us at makingtecheasier@gmail.com.
Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.